What is good, everybody? Welcome back to Joint Dropper Sports. I'm your host, Sean T. Stewart, back here with my dog, D. Stevenson in the cut, baby. What's happening, dog?
Hey, we chilling, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just taking it day by day. You know what I'm saying? We own it. You know what I'm saying? How you holding, bro? You feel
Hey,
me?
man, you know, same. I mean, honestly, bro, same. That's all. Like, bro, it's just a day by day thing, bro. I'm just trying to wake up, bro, go to work, get through the shift, come
Get
back
to the
home,
shit.
bro, do it all over again, bro. I'm gonna try to go hit the gym after this. Like, maybe I'm going back to bed first. I ain't gonna lie. After this is over, I'm
Yeah,
going right back to bed. And we're gonna see whether I can be, productive today. You know what I'm saying?
I
Um,
have faith in you, my boy.
I don't. I don't. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. So last week, I know you weren't on last week, but me and Ace did our top 10 QB list. The current crop of QBs, and of course, there's one name that always is such a polarizing name when you do these lists, and that was Jalen Hurts. And this is now spilled over into the big boy media, where you know what I'm saying, where they're doing their list as well, and obviously Cam Newton, one of the guys that are just one of the more polarizing guys in terms of football takes. It seems that every time he says something, it always makes it out somewhere out into the ether, and people have something to say about it. He didn't have Jalen Hurts on his top 10 list at all,
Hmm.
and I guess before we get any deeper, I guess do we agree with him not with Jalen Hurts not being on the top 10 list at all?
Well, I just want to go. I want to go back and see uh his list before I make my assumption right now. Uh, hmm.
I know his list.
Oh,
I,
oh,
I know his list at the top four looks about the same. It's a mixture of Josh
Allen.
Mahomes, Lamar, and Joe Burrow. And
Oh,
did you find the list?
oh, yeah.
All right, let's
Oh, oh, now okay. Let me, because I don't even like this list. Oh, preferably 5 and 6. Oh, seven. Oh no. Oh no.
okay. So
Um,
let's go through the list, right? So we'll put the list out. We'll reiterate the list just to make sure everybody knows. So Cam's list goes as follow: is Josh Allen at number one, Lamar Jackson at number two, Patrick Mahomes at number three, Joe Burrow at four, Matt Stafford at five, Jared Goff at six, Jaden Daniels at seven, CJ Stroud at eight, Justin Herbert at nine, and Baker Mayfield at 10. I have
mm,
my
mm,
well. I'm eager to see whether we both have the same issues with the list.
mm, mm. I do. I 1 through 4 is solidified. That's everybody's 1 through 4. I feel like it could be rearranged a little bit, but 1 through 4 is solid. It's after you get to 5 through 10.
Yep.
5 through 10 is where it gets tricky because I can agree with Jared Goff. I can agree with C.J. Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Daniels, he's going into year 2. I wouldn't have him on that list. Justin Herbert is also a question mark, but it's okay. You don't. I don't think you put Jaden Daniels over Jalen Hurts. I don't think you do that. I don't think you do that. I don't. As good as a quarterback he can be, and the potential is very there. I don't think I don't think you just like exclude. I think it's just more of a. It either has to be a. I don't know what it is. I don't know where that slander comes from, bro. Like, it's just no way you put a second year quarterback above a Super Bowl champion.
So
I don't get it.
okay.
I
So
don't get
I don't
it.
with Jaden Daniels. Okay, here's my thing, right, with the quarterback situation all across the league. I don't think there's a bunch of great quarterback play everywhere in the league. Like I don't believe that we're getting a bunch of elite quarterbacks. Like I don't look at this era like the 2010s. Like you remember the 2010s. You had Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Stafford, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton. I think you had a bunch of guys. Like you had a legit, I'd say about 8 names that you could throw in the elite category, and then that doesn't even account for the guys that were just good, but may have not been great. Because also you got to remember Russell Wilson and Russell Wilson's also in that 2010s era quarterbacks as well. So it's like so I don't believe we have that many good and great quarterbacks in today's game. I think the great quarterbacks are your top four. However you want to slice and dice them. Jared Goff has earned his way into a top 10 spot, and so has Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford, since going to the Rams, has sustained a certain level of success. Right? I don't agree with Justin Herbert. I'm always going to push back on Justin Herbert. He's the quarterback that he just has not. While I do believe in the talent, if you ask me about talent every day, I'm telling you Justin Herbert is one of the most talented quarterbacks of that we have in the game. And if you're asking me, like, if I had to watch a guy just throw the ball 30 to 40 times a game, I said I'd probably watch Justin Herbert do it before I watch almost any of the other guys do it. Right? Baker Mayfield being on the list is deserved. I think the last couple of years, Baker Mayfield has shown he deserves it. Now, I understand Jaden Daniels not why you wouldn't put Jaden Daniels there. Just give it more time before we start throwing them on there. So to have Jaden Daniels on the list and to not put Jalen Hurts on the list is a bit crazy. Now, I will say after last year, once you look at the numbers the numbers don't scream top 10 quarterback for Jalen Hurts. So he threw for about 2,900 yards. Threw for 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Obviously had a solid rushing year, of course, but he just isn't asked to do the maximum, which we've always discussed that on this podcast, that he's just not asked to do what the others are doing. Now, Cam, that's where me and Cam are going to disagree. I can't leave Jalen Hurts off the list. There is no top 10 list that Jalen Hurts is being left off of. I don't think there's 10 quarterbacks better than Jalen Hurts, even if he doesn't have the numbers. I still understand what Jalen Hurts brings to the table in terms of what he contributes. And I think even my point last week was you can't discount Jalen Hurts' rushing ability. The same way I'll never discount Lamar's rushing ability, the same way I never discounted Cam Newton's rushing ability when he played. I have to account for what you bring, for everything you bring to the table, because you're a different type of quarterback. Baker Mayfield can't do that. Jared Goff can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Matt Stafford can't do it either. So, but everything that Jalen Hurts is able to bring as a runner does make him that much more of an effective, of an effective weapon, because we know how it goes, fam. If it's like 3rd and 13, your defense got you backed up, and your defense needs to stop, and your quarterback is able to scramble and run for 15 to 17 yards on his own, but that'll kill the morale of any team. So I think Jalen Hurts still has that ability to take over a game within that aspect of it that I still have to respect. I mean, and the numbers bear it out too. He's gonna smash Cam Newton's record in terms of rushing touchdowns by the time he gets to the end of his career. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have some records to his name, and he's already got the hardware to prove it now. He's already got one of these. So it's like Jalen Hurts is in a weird spot, and I thought about this during the week, and I know I'm being a little long-winded here, but Jalen Hurts is in that same spot. And when I say this name, I'm not comparing them as players. Just look at the situations. He's in the same spot that the early Tom Brady was in. Remember that first 3 trips? If people remember correctly, I mean, we were around for it, but we remember nobody considered Brady the elite quarterback like they considered, Aaron Rodgers and other guys, right? Not Aaron Rodgers, but Peyton Manning and other guys like around that time frame. Brady wasn't in that class. We all thought that Brady was a product of the system, that the defense was the mainstay of those teams. And it wasn't until after 05, once you go through years like 06, 07, 08, you start to see, okay, Brady's coming into his own, especially 07. 07 is where, 06 is where it really started, because if you remember the AFC title game where y'all beat them, he was going toe-to-toe with the Colts with Jabbar Gaffney at wide receiver. I don't let people remember the time. So Jalen Hurts just hasn't had that time frame where it's been just him, and he's got to be able to create, and he's got to be able to do it on his own. And it's not his fault. And I don't think he should have to do it that way in order to be considered a good quarterback. But I do understand why people hold it against them in terms of where they place him. That's all,
Yeah, I think it's and it goes back to the Tom Brady early years. When you think about when we look back at it now, we look at impact, and we know how much those early New England years that defense pretty much was the sole, common denominator of those Patriots teams and winning. But I feel like you said, it wasn't until after the 04, 05 when he won that chip against Philly when people started to realize, hey, like, because even going into that Super Bowl, they weren't the favorites to win. I think it was Philly because it was like Donovan and To and how hot they were, and then New England came out and did their thing and won they fourth. So it's like, I mean, um, with Jalen Hurts, I think people has and obviously let's just keep it a being. It's not bothering him. It's not
It,
bothering him that he's not on these
he's
lists.
cool on it, bro.
Let's keep it as that he cool on it. But I think from a fan's perspective, we see the climb that he's done in recent years. We've seen the impact and we've seen the improvement that he's done in recent years. And when you look at guys like Justin Herbert, and you know me, I will vouch for Justin Herbert because he was a really good quarterback at Oregon. I think for him, it's a system thing compared to his actual impact. I feel like if he was to go somewhere else, maybe he would be a decent quarterback, similar to Baker Mayfield when he was in Cleveland. It could be. I don't know. But I feel like with Jalen Hurts, I feel like he's had a climb and he's improved over the past couple of years. Yeah, he lost the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, but he came back, redeemed, won the Super Bowl. I just don't understand why people, and if this is a stats thing when it comes to Cam, I didn't watch the podcast, so I don't know. I just don't understand why it's only stats and that's it. Probably like what is it based on? If it's just that, is it that and impact? Is it that and culture? What is it? You get what I'm saying? Because it's just crazy to me how again, you could put Lamar, Joe, Patrick, Josh there and there, but all those guys, with an exception of Mahomes, have made that climb and got to the mountaintop. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and you gotta put them in there, man. Like, I just don't understand. I really don't understand.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those weird things, right? Even last week, right, when I did my list, I got a comment with a very very respectful comment. I'll give him credit for this. He was like, "Man, there's no way." I said, he said, "Can we put the Super Bowl MVP at least fifth?" I'm like, I could. I had him
Mm-hmm.
fifth when the season ended, but then the more I sat and thought about it, I know why I know why I place him where I place him. Like
Mm-hmm.
for my only reasoning is because much like Cam, but then very different because Cam didn't have him in the top 10 at all. And I cannot co-sign that. But my reasoning is simply because like there's different ways for Philly to win games that doesn't require Jalen Hurts to throw for 300 yards, to have 30 pass attempts. Like there are plenty of times where they can take the ball out of his hands, and he just needs to play within the system and get the job done. Now I say here's the thing about that. It sounds easier. It's easier said than done because there are a lot of guys that don't have the ego to let that happen, and a lot of guys that they don't have the wherewithal to be able to do so without having that itching to want to make a play. He is ready and willing to do what the team is asking of him to do. Um, I don't now. I don't know. There are a couple years there, you talk about the first Super Bowl he went to. That year, that was a great year for him statistically, and I thought he played great for the majority of it. Bro, he's not far away from having I could very easily see him this year having 4,000 yards, having 25 touchdowns, and another 10 to 12 on the ground, and then the competition gets smashed on, and now we're talking about him moving into a definitive top 5 spot. Here's the thing too. He can move Joe Burrow out if he does it again. If he
Oh
goes
yeah.
win another one, I don't know how much longer you can keep letting Joe Burrow sit in that top 4. If cause that
Mm-hmm.
it's funny enough. Like I know, people have been talking about Jalen Hurts. That's the guy. I'm like, I can move you out. I can get you going. And I'm kind of waiting on it because you missed the playoffs the last couple of years. I'm more eager to get you going than I am to diss on Jalen Hurts and talk about what he can't do. Like I've been like you know me. I'm Justin Herbert don't get no love from me right now until proven otherwise. And Joe Burrow, I'm like, hey, brother, it's been a while. Hey, been some time. Been 4 years.
It's been some time. It's been some time, and I will say this though, like and this is where I kind of like give like Joe and Justin the benefit of the doubt. Joe, I don't know because Joe has had, he's had the system. He had a good defense at one point. He had a good offense. He just came up against Mahomes, and he just couldn't. You know what I'm saying? But Justin, it was just like I always remember that. I think it was 20. I think it was like 2021. One of them years where they played the Seahawks and they literally like blew a comeback.
We
Was
talking.
that 21?
We talking
I'm
about
about the
the playoffs.
Chargers. I'm about the Chargers. Yeah, it was in the
The playoffs.
playoffs. I think they
Like,
were they were up.
Jaguars, dog. You talking about
It was
Trevor?
Jags.
Yeah.
That was the Jags. But they blew that lead, and a lot of people blamed Justin for that. And I will always say, yo, that was more of a defensive thing than Justin Herbert. He went out there, played his game. But I
Yeah.
mean, in terms of like now, it's like the defense isn't great, the line isn't great in Cincinnati, but also it's just like, yo, Gerald, people been giving you the benefit of the doubt. People been giving you the pass for a while. You know what I'm saying? You got a guy who's steadily climbing in Philly. He got one of them things.
You
He
do.
got one of them things, and it's like now you over here being the pretty boy, you over here getting the recognition, all that type of stuff like that. People kind of putting you in there because you got style or you can play all of that stuff. But you got that boy over there in Philly, Mr. Old School, Frankie Beverly and Mays. He got one of them things, and he's steady climbing every year. He gonna throw you out of there. He gonna throw the only people you really can't throw out of there right now is Patrick, Lamar, and Josh.
That's it.
Now, Patrick for me is one. I'm gonna just keep it a bean. Patrick is my one.
He was number one for me as well on my
He's
list.
my one. Number two is Josh Allen. Three,
Not
Lamar
mad,
Jackson.
not mad at that either.
So it's like, in four, it's like I'm gonna just give my whole list right now. So
Go.
one, Patrick Mahomes. Two, Josh Allen. Three, Lamar Jackson. Four, give me Joe. I'll keep Joe in there.
Okay.
Five is Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Six, Matthew Stafford. Seven, Jared Goff. Eight, CJ Stroud. Nine, Baker Mayfield. And 10, Jaden Daniels.
I like that.
That's my list.
We're gonna put that
That's
out.
my,
But trust me, we're gonna put it out, and you're gonna probably end up having the best list of all three of us.
yeah.
But people are probably gonna agree with your list more than anything because I do think that's fair. I do think your list is very much fair. But yeah, no, I agree with that. Jaden Daniels being at the edge of the top 10 makes sense to me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
had James probably a bit high. I probably did. I'm betting on where I think he can go from here. Um, I mean, as a passer, oh my god, bro,
He's a great passer.
I just think
I,
that
I
levels for
I
him.
I just think he's 10 because last year he played like a top 15 quarterback as a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Coming into the season, you kind of have to put him in the top 10 basically off of hype, off of situations. I mean, Terry, we don't know what's going on with Terry, but
They do
the
niggas.
situation is still good. So, and three, I just think overall talent, he has the potential.
Yeah.
Now, sophomore slumps happen, so we don't know. We don't know, but just going into it,
Yes, he gets Stroud at 8.
CJ Stroud, yes,
Yeah, so I mean, CJ Stroud even being at 8, CJ Stroud pretty much jumped into the top 10 based off his rookie year. Now he was able to maintain and go back to the playoffs again, which is kudos to him. Even though they had a rough year, things could have went left, and he did lose some receivers along the way, and he was still able to help that team figure out a way to get there. Jaden Daniels, I hope the Washington Commanders don't play around with Terry McLaurin too much and find a way to get that. They get
yeah.
that and pay that man, bro. He's been too consistent too long for you guys to wait till now when he has a quarterback to then decide to mess around with the money.
Yeah, like no disrespect to Debo, South Carolina own, no disrespect to him, but he just got there. So like you don't want to get rid of Terry. You bring in Debo, who like he's still what 27, 28, he's still young, but he's been going through injuries the past couple of years, and it's like this is a new system for him. So you kind of have to find a way to keep Terry, find a way to pay Terry, find a way to have both of them click, him and Debo together, and then it just works out. Because that's two good options for Jaden Day. That's two really good options for him.
That's
Kind
a
of like Batman and Robin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You
and
kind of need that.
you need to give him as many opportunities as possible. Like, here's the thing: do look at the blueprint from your division rival. And yo,
Mhm.
load the deck with your quarterback on his rookie deal and figure it out. That's what
You
you got to
figure
do.
it out.
So yeah, that I mean obviously this spilled over into Cam and Ryan Clark trading personal jabs about each other's careers, which I think is kind of lame. And I guess the only thing I'll say about this is that is this: Ryan Clark has this thing about him, bro. He got this thing, and I don't like the passive aggressiveness that I hear from bro. Like I wish he would. I wish he would just say when he doesn't like people, because every time he does this, he did it with RG3, right? He had that,
Mhm.
he had that back before RG3, but I don't like as soon as you get popped upside your head, bro. You reel it back in, and we get these 2-page essay tweets about how black men should stick together, and we get a whole pivot episode about it. Brother, either
Yeah.
stand on 10 or don't say nothing again.
All
That's
right.
it. It's cool. I don't like the personal shots at people's careers when they have an opinion. Do I agree with what Cam said? Absolutely not. But I mean, why does it always need to turn into a well, you didn't do this, you didn't do that? Well, brother,
I think it's a competitive thing. I think it's always because basketball players do it too. And like you see it on the podcast all the time, like Gil and Kenyon Martin, they be throwing jabs at each other on the same podcast. It's a competitive thing. It's I think it's a one up. Like, well, you ain't win a Super Bowl. You was 15-1. You ain't win a Super Bowl. You play against Peyton Manning. Da 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 da. But you ain't do this. Da 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 da. It's definitely a competitive thing. I definitely agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Like you said with Ryan Clark. Like Ryan Clark has this thing. He's become too professional in situations like that, where it's like, yo, like keep it a 10, bro. If you don't really rock with him, like you don't rock with him, bro. Like you ain't got to do all the other type of stuff. Like we know he don't like RG3, bro. At this
no,
point, who do like RG3? Like, but
right. But
like
like,
like keep it a bean.
you keep it a stab, bro. You don't have to go and apologize. I just don't understand sometimes when you get into these tips, like especially if you're willing to step out on the ledge and say something anyway. Don't then
Mm-hmm.
retract. That's my whole thing. I just think if you're not willing to go all the way there, then maybe just play the sideline, bro. But like maybe leave the hot takes and the fiery statements to people that are at least willing to stand on 10 about some of the things that they're about to say. I don't really. And again, I mean, I saw the To comment. To comment is what it is. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if anybody really cares. But To is kind of one of those people that I'm like, I don't know if you haven't had the greatest relations with anybody in your locker room, so I don't know if we've been in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's one of those things. So it's like I don't know. I just find it funny, bro. That like even some of the people that come at Cam about his career did not have better careers themselves. Like Ryan Clark didn't have a better career than Cam Newton. Dan Orlovsky didn't have a better career than Cam Newton. Now To, yes, absolutely, one of the greatest receivers of all time. But I mean that's about where the buck stops. But all in all, like this is all for Jalen Hurts not to care. Like like back to the main
Yeah,
point.
bro, yeah, I heard what he said about winning that ring. He was like, "Yo, I moved on."
That's bro. He looking. He looking for a back to back.
Hmm.
He go if he go run it back to back, bro. There ain't nothing nobody can say like
Yeah,
at all. Like it's
and
not.
man, he celebrated on the day. He said, "Yo, got the ring, cool."
Yeah.
Next season, bro. I
That's
love that mentality though. I
a,
love that mentality.
yeah. I like the mentality too. I do think he's a quote merchant. I ain't gonna lie. I do think he be like. I think he be writing these in the back, bro. I swear to
He
God,
too.
he be writing this. I
He
swear
a
to
philosopher, bro.
bro. I
He
was
a
like,
philosopher,
oh my
bro.
God, bro. This
That's
but he always got
it.
the perfect thing to say, bro.
If we bring, that's one thing we got to do. We got to bring back. We got to bring back like nicknames in the NFL. I know we got like Joe Burr. That's probably my favorite nickname. But for Jalen Hurts, it has to be the philosopher, bro. We gotta give him the
Bro,
philosopher, bro.
yeah,
That jump.
that be fit him, bro. Sick of him always
Yeah.
having a thing to say, bro. God damn.
What did he say? He was like, money is great, championships are better, boy.
Man, this
Uh,
he a load of this, bro. Ah, damn, bro. I
you
mean,
know what's crazy though, bro? He's so calm with it, bro. Like he don't like he just be like, yeah, bro. I just moved on that season. You know, he sound like a little uncle or something, bro. Like, bro, chill out, yo. Like, Like, that's my dog, bro. And like he know he's smooth, bro. He know
Bro,
he's smooth.
hey, look, bro. Hey, look, bro, Cole, bro, Cole.
Bro,
Hey,
cold, bro.
while we here, bro, you know what I'm saying? It ain't, obviously training camp has started, but we'll get into that in just a second. I had this idea. Start bench cut mobile quarterback edition. You know what I'm saying? I think we've had with it. This has been done all over the place, but I just like, you know what? Yeah, why not for shits and giggles, right? Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton, Mike Vick, bro. Who we cutting? Who we starting? Who we benching? There's a battle here. There's a battle here. I mean, I think one of these are guaranteed. There's a battle with two of them that are like. I know some people don't. Some people have a hard time letting go in their childhood. We gonna see whether you one of those ones.
Start Mike. You start
hell.
Mike.
I'm sorry, my fault. Go ahead.
Wait, are we talking about prime Mike? Are we everybody in their prime, right?
We're taking everybody in their prime. We're taking everybody in their prime right here.
That's tough, yo. That's you experienced one of these guys, dog. I'm scared. All right.
Go ahead, bro.
Start Lamar, bench Mike, cut Cam.
Oh damn. Oh, bro. Okay, we just. I just had some news pop up on the phone, bro. I don't know if you just got the same alert on ESPN, bro. We'll get to that in a second, but with the start bench cut, I'm starting Lamar. I will bench Newton, and I'm cutting the hell out of Michael Vick, bro. Yeah, absolutely.
You cutting Vick?
Yeah, I'm cutting the hell out of Vick, bro.
You cutting Vick?
Nope.
What? Okay, I need to know. I need to know why you cutting Vick.
Because the other two guys have MVPs. If the best year Cam Newton is going to be the MVP year, well, that's getting me to the Super Bowl. If the best years of Lamar Jackson are going to be like what? I mean, bro, like fam, I could argue Lamar's best year was this past season. And he didn't even win the MVP. Threw for 4,400 yards, 40 touchdowns. Like he was crazy. He had a crazy year and doesn't even win the MVP. Love Mike Vick. What Mike Vick are people remembering is always a question for me when we talk about a start bench cut. Like, are you talking about the Michael Vick that could hit the damn spinner Rooney at midfield back when he was in Atlanta, or are we talking about the Michael Vick in Philly? Because like those are two different quarterbacks. Because if you're talking about Michael Vick in Atlanta, I'm like, all right, Michael Vick in Atlanta is solid. Don't get it twisted. But that also, to me, ain't even close to where I think Lamar Jackson has done, in my opinion. I think Lamar Jackson is completely lapped everyone in terms of like being that style of quarterback. He's lapped everybody. Like it ain't even.
I think the thing with it's so hard about that list is because again, like two of them has MVPs. I gotta exclude the MVPs because Mike was in a league where at the quarterback position during his time it was like him, Dante Cole, Pepper, Donovan McNabb, right?
Yeah.
It was a time where it was like, yeah, this is explosive. This is exciting to watch, but can it win you championships, right? It's a mental thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was always going to be the Drew Breeses, the Tom Brady's, the Sheriff. You feel what I'm saying? That was the quarterback that was like, that is an MVP caliber quarterback. Like the dual quarterback was exciting back then, but it was like, all right, is it going to win you games? You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's the only reason why I would keep Mike in it is because I feel like if we're talking about like in today's game, it's a tough list because as big as Cam was, that was an explosive dude.
Yeah,
it was. But I feel like, and from my arm talent, that's also tough too because all three of them have an arm.
They do.
For the left hand, Mike was crazy with the left. We ain't really seen nobody with the left like that.
Mike,
and he ran on the right.
Thrower. Honest God, Mike may have been the most Mike may have been the most naturally talented thrower of the three. Like I know his reflect that in terms of completion percentages and all that stuff. I think once his game changed coming out of prison, and you got to really see the version of him that was really the predecessor to the modern day mobile quarterback that we have today, and Cam and Lamar and all the guys that have followed like Jane Daniels and all those guys. Like Michael Vick post prison was was the poster child for that, as far as like how it could work, and you start and everybody implemented it. Now, obviously, I think once Cam's just such an anomaly at his size and his frame, and me knowing personally how he affected games for Carolina, even in the years where we didn't have the talent necessarily to go along with the quarterback. I understand what he does, what he did for us. But I'm not mad at anybody that takes Vic. I'll just always say that Vic was one of those guys. Vic is definitely the he stamps it for everybody. Like if not for Vic, then none of this happens that we currently have right now. He's definitely the guy, one of the godfathers of the mobile quarterback that we have today. So I have no problem with people showing love to Vic when it comes down to this.
Let me ask you this. Out of the three, tough question. Because these are like three different eras.
Yes.
Which one of these, and all three of them have been at least to that point, or they've been close. Which era was harder to win a Super Bowl? The Lamar era, the Cam era, or the Mike era?
I'd say Lamar's is the easiest to win the Super Bowl because I don't think there's nearly as many great quarterbacks to go through. Now, I do think that the AFC has them, but there aren't as many great teams, I feel like, in this era of football currently. Man, it may be
And mind you, Cam and Mike had to go through the Brady, Manning, Aaron Rodgers era. Both of them had to.
And this is what I'm thinking. So, like, for me, I may would lean Lamar last. I may go Cam first, and I may go Vic second. Mm-hmm. I think because I'm thinking about
that's honest.
I'm thinking about the Legion of Boom. I'm thinking about the Denver defense that also existed. I think about the myriad of quarterbacks. I think about obviously Tom, Peyton, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan. Those are guys that were just in our division at that. Aaron Rodgers, like you know what I'm saying, Matt Stafford. You start talking about all of those guys and who you got to go through in order to get to a championship. Then yeah, it's pretty damn tough. But then I think about the Vic's era.
In the NFC alone. Yeah. NFC alone in the Vic era.
Yeah. You think about Philly. Philly was a problem. Philly was you had to get through Philly, like when in Vic's Atlanta days, you got to get through Philly to get there.
Philly, yeah.
So, and obviously he couldn't do that. I don't know, man. I think I'll probably roll with Cam's era. It's probably the toughest. Like I think that's the most deepest era of quarterbacks. I think that's some of the best defenses, especially modern day, when teams had to figure out how do we stop these quarterbacks that are passing for 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. Like those era defenses. If you were a great defense in that era, I think you're hands down one of the best of all time because you're dealing with the not being able to touch receivers, not being able to fully be as physical as you would like to be, and you're still able to find a way to dominate. I think that like those the LOB defense and that 2015 Denver defenses wrecked a lot of teams in a lot of years.
I would say this. I want to answer this. Who would have won if they would have, went to the prime? I mean, Lamar hasn't went to the Super Bowl yet. Cam has been to the Super Bowl. Mike hasn't. Who do you think would have won one first? I'm gonna personally say Vic. I feel like if he somehow got past that Philly team in the NFC Championship game, they would have beat New England. I don't think Belichick would have had. I don't think Belichick had a defense for that. I really don't. They were more secondary base around that era. Ty Law, Sante Samuel, all them boys. Like, I mean, of course they was I don't think he would have had a style for that, just for that Falcons team.
Crazy enough, bro. You kind of spot on because you think about that era. There isn't the edge rushers we have into like today's game and like in the 2010s and in today's game. These are more lean. These are quicker. These are longer guys with a lot more rangy type of athletes. They can go east and west. They're a better straight line, better suited to deal with a guy like Michael Vick. Right. Back in that day, well, your starting defensive end would have been Richard Seymour, who's a
Richard Seymour,
who's a great defensive end, right? But you think
Hall
about
of Famer. Yeah.
but he's like a big, broad, like a bit more of a bit more of a stiff man, no Diddy, than the guys we have current day, right? So I think, and if you think about it, Belichick always has struggled with mobile quarterbacks. So
Mm-hmm.
if he has to play Vic, that changes because McNabb people lump McNabb into the mobile quarterback conversation. McNabb was not a running quarterback.
He wasn't that. He
He
wasn't
could
like that.
move, but
Yeah.
I don't even think McNabb moves as better. I don't even think McNabb moves as well as Aaron Rodgers did, as far as like within the pocket and even running. Well, I think Aaron Rodgers is a better running quarterback than Donovan McNabb was. So it's like, I think he's only in there because he's black. Me personally, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Michael Vick. Michael Vick. I think you're right though. I think Michael Vick's ability as a runner for sure would have given New England fits, and knowing that was like that's what he was relying on. That's what he would have gone to it. It ain't like how sometimes when we watch Lamar, we've seen Lamar a myriad of times get to the playoffs and not be the quarterback that we saw in the regular season, and won't use his legs to take him to take him on home as if there's another game to play. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Cam, I mean, we've seen Cam do it. So I mean, I've seen Cam do it. I just that Super Bowl performance is gonna be such a sour taste on his saying such a stain on his legacy that like I don't know if people are gonna be like, oh, I mean, I want to do it again. Even though I ain't gonna lie, as far as the quarterback I trust Cam to get me back there for sure. I think Cam can for
Yeah.
sure get me back there. I think if we would have gave him a proper team to get back there with, I think we could have. I think he could have. I don't even think 2015 was even his best year as a quarterback. I think 2018. I think prior to him getting hurt in 2018, he was. I think everything had peaked for him. I think mentally he had saw it. He was seeing the game better. Physically, he still had his physicality, but as a passer, I thought he was playing above and beyond where he was in 2015. It was much more fluid, and I thought the
Yeah.
system that North Turner had implemented was perfect for him. It kept
Oh
everything.
yeah.
It kept everything 10 and in. I mean, and he had gotten more accurate as an intermediate passer, which is where most quarterbacks have to sharpen up in order to take that next step. The Brady's, the Mannings, the Rodgers, all of those guys can hit that short intermediate game that makes them pretty much unbeatable because as long as you can always find your outlet and escape pressure and things of that nature, you're gonna always be a tough out. So, but yeah, no,
All
that's
right.
a great question though.
Last question. Sorry, I just like this topic. I just really do. Who has or had the most pressure to win a Super Bowl? I'm gonna go with Lamar Jackson, and I think it's because of the era of quarterbacks that we're in, where that whole top 10 list that we list and that I list early on, that whole top 10 list is competing for a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
There's not anybody on that list, maybe Justin Herbert, but there's not anybody on that list who is fighting, who is itching for a Super Bowl, right? When you look at the Cam era, you know, Brady, Manning, Cam Newton, who else could you throw in there? Maybe Tony Romo,
yeah,
Aaron Rodgers. That's like
no, right.
five.
Yeah,
That's like five. Even in the early years, Vitt was more of a exciting show. Who pretty much got there? I don't think people thought McNabb would be a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. So it was always Tom Brady, the Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning.
forgot
Again, a
about Big.
solid five,
Yeah,
huh?
I kept forgetting about Big Ben. I don't know why I keep forgetting.
Yeah, a solid five. But now you have a top 10 list, and then the top five is like itching. It's itching.
Yeah,
Every year we talk about Josh, Patrick, Lamar, Joe, and God knows whoever else, right? And it's like the minute somebody else comes along, the minute like CJ comes in, even when Trevor Lawrence came in, it was like, oh, somebody else creeping in. They creeping in.
right.
They creeping in. Y'all got to get about. And I think Lamar has the most pressure now, is because as good as Mahomes is, Lamar is like the exciting, aura that needs to win. I think for a cultural standpoint, I think for a revolutionary standpoint, and the fact that somebody can say a quarterback of his caliber, because there has not been. I think Warren Moon is the only one, but there hasn't been a quarterback of his caliber in so long, in so many years, that has won a Super Bowl. It
Yeah.
has not. So
It's the pressure's definitely on Lamar to get one. Like it's all on him. I mean, he's got all the accolades. He's got everything. They said he couldn't pass the ball. Well, he can. He throws the ball for over 4,000 yards and throws for 40 downs and 4 interceptions. So he dispelled that narrative. Got a couple MVPs now. Like, bro, like, only thing you need left to cement your legacy as a Hall of Famer. And I mean, when I say Hall of Famer, I mean first ballot. If you go win a Super Bowl title with those two MVPs already to your name, you are a first ballot Hall of Famer, bar none. And we're not even talking about just first ballot, brother. We're talking about you among the pantheon of great quarterbacks. See, Lamar, the difference between Lamar and Cam and Vic was that Lamar is on a trajectory to be one of the greatest of all time. Running quarterback be damned, styles be damned. Like he's on a trajectory to be in one of the greatest of all time conversations. Those other two never were in those. They were exciting. They gave us moments. They made us feel, but they never did this. He is everything that those guys have done prior to, but stabilized. It's
mhm.
it's systematic now. It feels almost surgical when he plays. You start to watch. I mean, there's a thinking level to it that I don't believe everybody thought was there with the others. Right. I really want to see Lamar get it done because
I
even
do.
when we see a guy like Jalen Hurts get it done, we all like if we really were as high on Jalen Hurts as people would like to believe that we are, then he would be in certain conversations. But see, he's not because you can you see it on the field when guys are playing. Lamar instantly can take over the game. Like his hand is on it. He can completely shift it. Lamar's got a chance, man, to be one of the greatest of all time, and that's why I really do want to see him get one. He's one of the few quarterbacks that I would root for outside of my own fan base to go get one because it changes a conversation, and I would love to hear where people start to put him all time if he were to get one.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Even though I do think he'll be in an all timer conversation without one if he keeps playing this way. But it's
Oh
just
yeah.
I want it to be stamped because he's not going to get the benefit of the doubt of like a Dan Marino who didn't win a Super Bowl, right?
Hmm.
He's not going to get the benefit of the doubt of a guy like Drew Brees who never won an MVP, but did win a Super Bowl. He's gonna need to have won a Super Bowl to be able to eclipse guys like the Phillip Rivers, the Dan Marinos, all the guys that didn't win that were also great. He needs to win a Super Bowl to definitively
Definitely be great.
jump over those guys where I don't even have to have a conversation with you about why he is better than those guys. Like you
I
should just
think I think and it's tough because and when we talk about that top five, when we talk about again, I put Jalen Hurts in my top five. I think it's so hard because for some reason, when you look at the Josh Allens and you look at Joe Burrow, who respectfully, just as Lamar, that window for Joe. I feel like for Joe it's even more than Lamar. Like his window is closing quicker than Lamar
yes.
because Cincinnati, we don't know what's going on in Cincinnati.
It's a bad franchise and you're
It's
missing
a
the
bad
playoffs.
franchise.
Like I
Yeah,
don't know when you get back at this point.
yeah. But I think for some reason the media tries to frame like not Cam, but Lamar as like, oh, if he doesn't win this year, his window is slowly close. Like you going up against Lamar, you're in the same division. I mean, you're in the same conference as Lamar Jackson. I mean, Patrick Mahomes. You're in the same, conference as Joe Burrow. You're in the same conference as that whole top four. They're all in the same conference, mind you. So it's already hard enough, like you can win the division titles. We get that. Like y'all the best team in y'all division. We not worried about that.
But
That's whatever. But it's just a matter of having these playoff performances. It's always about these playoff performances, and like You can't fault Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. You can't fault that. They're the modern day Patriots. You just can't do that.
Right.
But it's tough because it's like you got one guy who's on a bad team. They will always give him that. You got another guy out there saying like, "Oh, he doesn't have any receivers," blah blah blah, like all this type of stuff like that. But then again, you have Lamar Jackson, who has the talent, who has the team, and it's like, oh well, he can't get over the hump. He's at one way or another. You got to go play Patrick Mahomes,
Yeah.
whether it's Allen, Burrow, or Lamar. You got to go play Patrick.
Yeah.
At what point do we have to sit here and say, hey, like, I'm not saying it's not doable, but that's like the gauntlet of the AFC. It is. They have been for so long. Like,
I call Patrick Mahomes the boogeyman, bro. That's the real boogeyman.
you know, man, he Kendrick.
Because
He Kendrick.
every time every
Yo.
yourself now. Watch yourself.
All right.
but he is indeed the boogeyman, bro. Because I mean, every time I see him pop up around Josh Allen, Lamar, and Joe Burrow, he always seems to be the victor of that matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. Now, obviously, you know, Jordan got the one on that. They got the one up on him, but that was so long ago, bro. Like, okay,
it don't matter though. It would never matter because he got it.
Won 2 Super Bowls since then. So, yeah, you know,
like, you can say if that was barbershop talk, if them boys was like barbershop talk, Joe could say, yeah, I beat you, but Pat said I got them things. I got the things though. Yeah, I got 3 things. You feel what I'm saying? So
yeah, man, I've been to 5. The reason why I don't ever I don't even debate Patrick Mahomes' spot in terms of the top 10 list because I'm like, bro, I said he's playing a different game. See, Patrick Mahomes is already in an all-timer conversation. He's out of here. He's out of his stratosphere. Them other ones, y'all are middling around trying to find y'all way into my conversation. Y'all are not in my conversation. It's like sometimes you're not allowed to speak at certain tables. Y'all at the kids' table still. I got them things.
Nah, the kid table crazy. Anybody in that top 5 is anybody outside of that top 5 is the kids table.
Compared to numero uno, you at the kids' table. You can't talk to me, dog. You can't talk to me. Bitch, I'm me. I'm up there with I'm talking with Tom. I'm talking with Montana. I'm talking with some other cats. Y'all boys talking amongst yourselves, bro. Sit in the corner, damn it.
All right. Out of that talk, we're gonna exclude Jalen and Patrick because I feel like for some reason I think Jalen is gonna be the kryptonite. That's just my at least for now. He's gonna be the kryptonite.
He kind of looking like it.
He looking like the kryptonite. The way he be the motivational speaks, how calm he is, all nonchalant ass. Out of that 3, in order, who do you want to see win before it's too late? I think Lamar's 1.
Lamar's easily 1 for me.
Lamar's easily 1, and I got a soft spot for Josh. I love Josh. For some reason, the history of Buffalo, I just want him to win 1, not before Josh. I don't want any of those 2 to win before Lamar because of like the racial narrative they'll put onto that if they do.
Right, like
because the MVP last year, bro. That should have went to Lamar, like hands down. That should have went to Lamar. Come on,
it's arguable that it could have went to Lamar. I was not upset that Josh got it because I looked.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Yeah,
I looked at what he was working with. He made it work for sure.
Yeah.
But Lamar's first for me, of course. Then Josh, but same. I think it goes Lamar, Josh, and Joe. I don't really give a damn about Joe Burrow, bro. I cannot front with you. I think that you know sometimes you just don't even have a reason for as to why you don't like certain people, bro. You just kind of like, nah. And that's kind of how I feel with Joe Burrow, bro. He's nice. Yeah. He cold as hell though. Don't get it twisted.
Cold as hell, yeah. He cold.
It's like my personal bias. Like,
I rock with Joe, but I don't feel bad for Cincinnati because Cincinnati is doing that to Joe, and then it's like y'all are holding him back.
Yeah,
y'all been holding him back since he got there. But I feel like neck and neck, like you said, Pat he update.
Yeah, yeah,
Pat up. Him and the Lord, they talking right now.
yeah. He,
That what it is.
he talking
But
like
it like,
when it comes down to this football thing, bro.
yeah. But I feel like it's gonna be neck and neck with Josh and Lamar
Yeah,
to see who gets that, who's that next. Again, I think that's why I feel like he's a top five. I feel like Jalen is a kryptonite.
there's a chance
You
CJ
you,
Stroud
you,
gets in the conversation before Joe Burrow gets back in it.
you talk about boogeyman. I think Jalen is the boogeyman. I think Jalen is the guy that's under the
He,
bed.
he's definitely Patrick Mahomes' boogeyman because if you look at
Oh
him,
yeah, he creeping out.
he be balling out on Patrick. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
It's like he saves it. It's like he saves his best shots for Patrick every time. He's like, yo,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But it don't.
That's literally like, to me, that rivalry to me honestly is, if I had to do hip hop beefs, I know you look at me funny. That's Drake and Kendrick. That's Drake and Kendrick. That's like the modern day Drake and Kendrick, like rival. Like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
cause you know what I'm saying. Like it's weird. Like Patrick Mahomes is Drake. I'm just saying, Patrick, he Drake, he up there, he at the top. But then again, you got the boogeyman that's creeping under there. Like, yo, I got something for you.
yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So
I mean, it's comparable. I'm not mad at that.
Mhm,
I'm not mad at that.
mhm.
But all right, we've been on this for damn
I
near.
love that topic, bro.
And
I love that football topic, bro.
it was fun. It was fun. But as we get ready to wrap up, and we're gonna go over an hour at this point. I'm gonna just talk about Panthers training camp here to open up here for a little bit. Obviously, Panthers training camp opened up here. I mean, by the time this comes out, Panthers training camp would have been about 2 days in already. I'm excited for our season. I'm excited for our rookie wide receivers, T Mac, Jimmy Horn. I saw some good things from Hunter. We see Hunter Renfrow start to make some plays in camp. Obviously, early days, pads aren't even on yet, but it would be nice to see Bryce have another weapon that can provide some stability for him. Xavier Legette, I feel strongly about Xavier having a big sophomore jump, not a slump, but a jump this upcoming season. Stamp that one. The defense is where the biggest questions lie, right? The biggest questions are in that secondary, the free safety position. Who is going to be back there? Who's going to have an impact for us early on? Damani Richardson is the guy to look for, undrafted free agent out of Texas A&M last year. Played significant snaps toward the end of the season. Nick Scott's currently listed as a starter right now for us at that position. So, we'll see how that battle goes out. I don't think that battle is done by any stretch of the imagination. Trayvon Moehrig is one of the guys I am excited about in the secondary. He does make me feel at ease at that strong safety position. But then we get to the defensive line: Bobby Brown, Trevon Wharton. Those guys, two big signings for us on defensive line that I think will make us better. And we're going to need every single bit of it because our linebacking core took a hit by releasing our starting linebacker from last year, Josie Jewell. So we're down a guy. So guys like Trevin Wallace will need to step up. Christian Roseboom, who was a free agent signing, will need to step up. Guys like Bam Martin Scott, from the University of South Carolina, undrafted free agent, will have to step up. There's another guy too that I do want to get his name before we move on because I do want to respect who I want to respect what people have said about bro. His name is I don't know how to say his first name. I'm gonna try it. We're gonna say is Tuasivi Nomura from
Yeah.
Fresno State, rookie linebacker. Has potential. People have rang his praises. People have talked highly of him. I'm eager to see it. We're gonna need one of those guys to step up. There really isn't anybody in free agency left that has a pulse that I think that can actually help us. So if we got to roll with those guys, then so be it. But I'm hopeful that the front line is much improved. That will then in turn help the secondary and help the linebacking core be better units. That's where you spend most of your money at. So I need those guys. I need those investments to pay dividends this upcoming season. Overall, I mean, like I said, I'm excited. I think we're going to be one of those sleeper teams. I think we're going to be a very sexy sleeper pick for people that are looking for a team. So if you're looking for a team to root for, looking for a team to keep your eye on, I think the Panthers in that receiving core and where Bryce Young ended the year, if he, and it is huge that he builds on top of what he did at the end of the year last year. We can't have a setback. We can't reset the clock on this. On this, it's pivotal because this is probably his last chance as a Carolina Panther to get the job done to see whether he's going to have some sustained success here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So
Yeah.
I'm geeked about the season, man. I'm excited about it. I'm hopeful for a prosperous 2025-26 season.
Yeah. I think going into the Colts, just looking into it, I feel like again our biggest asset is the quarterback. Obviously, Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. Um, I've been looking at a lot of tape. You know, it's still a question mark for me. Like I said in the pre-show, like when I feel like when is this conversation for quarterback is going to be kind of subtle in a way. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like at this point, our team is like very average in a way compared to what it was a couple of years ago where we only needed a quarterback. And it's like now we're allowing a lot of things to slip through the crack. Um, Receiving core is great. Pittman, just seeing what Pittman and the boys do, Gold and them guys, like they out there doing their thing. I think the secondary still needs a little work, but um, it's hard. It's really hard because the main factor right now is the quarterback position, and just like what is it going to be? Like what is Anthony Richardson going to be mid-season form before it's like yeah we got to sit you out. You know what I'm saying? Because that taking yourself out, that it don't sit with Colts fans as well. It really don't. It just don't sit with us. And it's just like, are you coming in shape? Are you coming in, with a better mentality? Are you coming in with a more mature mentality? Because let's keep it a bean. I know a lot of people got their views on Daniel Jones, but for me, when I look at a lot of things, I kind of look at the positives and I kind of look at like that one Pro Bowl year that he had in New York. That's potential for me. He's still a young quarterback. So I mean, it's one of the situations where it's like I think Anthony knows your job can be took. Like you're not a solidified number one option. Like a lot of most guys are coming in. It's like I like for your instance with Bryce Young, ain't nobody coming there taking Bryce's spot. Everybody know Bryce is the guy. They're confident and Bryce is the guy. I think Shane they understand that Anthony might not be the guy. He might not be the option. He's not the option. Let me not say he might be the guy. He might not be the solidified option because we got somebody else over there, somebody who's just as young, who can be just as prepared and play. Um, do I think we compete this year? Probably not. I think it's not going to be a year where we compete. I think Houston is still going to be the top of the division, probably. I think Cam Ward, we got to see what them boys do in Tennessee, but they look kind of good. I seen they train the count tapes. They look kind of good defensively out there. I think us and Jacksonville are going to be at the bottom of the pack. I really do feel bad for Trevor Lawrence because coming in, he was the guy that really was supposed to take over the division. He was supposed to be that guy. I'm not saying the league, but that division. He was supposed to be.
Could have been.
I feel like CJ is that guy in the AFC South. So I mean, um, I think third division at least. I could be surprised. But I just from where everything is working, I just feel like we're gonna be not middle of the pack at the bottom half. Probably one of them teams in the hunt if we get it together. But I don't really have a lot of good expectations this year.
I feel that, man. Here's the thing, man, and then let this be a lesson to anyone looking to draft quarterbacks or picking a quarterback to hitch their wagon to. Nothing good has ever come from a guy not playing a lot of football. Anthony
Yeah,
Richardson has simply not played a lot of football. From his college days to his high school days, he just has not played a lot of football. And he's been made of glass since his high school days. He's always dealt with injuries. So at this point, I don't know. I'm kind of off. I'll go ahead and say I'm off of it. I've been off of it for a little while now. It's just like, bro,
yeah.
if you
You've
can't
been off of it since year two, man.
yeah,
Since year
I
two.
was off her pretty early, bro. I mean, you got to stay on the field, man. Like you got to stay on the field, and I don't think you're gonna get healthier as you get older in this game. Like this game is not one of those where you get healthier as you get older. Your body tends to break down more. You know what I'm saying? As you keep playing this warrior of a sport. So, the last thing, man, before we get up out of here, bro, we got some basketball stuff that we got that I do want to hit because I know you're the guy for the job, man. I know this is your bag.
Hey
So
man, Yeah.
So tell me something. Thoughts on CP3 signing to the Clippers? Thoughts on the Clippers roster? Is it remnants of that 2022 Lakers roster when they try to put all those old vets together, all those former superstars, and lump them in one group? Or is this team set to be markedly better than that?
No, I don't. I think it's always a question mark because you got guys on that team that can't stay healthy. And when the main common denominator is Kawhi Leonard, you need Kawhi Leonard to play at least 70 games to be contenders in the Western Conference. You need that. James Harden is still trying to revive what he once was. You see glimpses of that, but he's getting older in age. You don't really see that explosiveness anymore. That he had. CP3 is just along for the ride. CP3 is literally just along for the ride. He's coming in to be a mentor, a vet, especially to the young guys on that second unit. So that's going to be kind of weird. Bradley Beal, you seen what he did in Phoenix. It could be a whole new thing for him, but Bradley Beal is one of those guys where leaving Washington really, put an alter in his career because once John Wall was left out, he was the guy. You wanted to leave Washington, you could have got all these vets and stuff. You could have been a contender, but you decided to go and team up with Book and them. And Book is another story, bro. I'm kind of pissed off at Book right now, but that's neither here nor there. I don't think. If anything, I think that Lakers Rockets was more. I wouldn't say they were more talented, but they were more at least efficient in a way. Because at this point, it's like, you know, this team can't stay healthy for nothing.
But you know what? You know what though? I'm not mad at this roster though. It called me crazy.
I'm not mad at the roster though. I'm just more concerned about the availability of it.
now that is very true. But let's say, for example, let's say Kawhi gets to 65 games this year, right? So let's
Okay.
say Kawhi plays 65. Let's say all the stars play upwards of 60 games. We're talking about a roster that currently has Bradley Beal, uh, Bogdanovich. You know what I'm saying? You got Bogdanovich. All right, that's solid. You talk about they signed John Collins.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good signing. Obviously had Chris Dunn there, who showed he can be a defensive menace last year. James Harden, Derrick Jones Jr., Kawhi Leonard, Brook Lopez, Chris Paul, and Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is also on that roster as well. I don't know if he's going to be released.
No, he's probably gonna be out by
Yeah,
next week.
yeah. I got to say, I got to imagine he's going to be out. So scratch Simmons, and you have Zubac.
Right.
That's a solid roster. Now,
That's a solid roster.
what I will say is that roster doesn't make me think that OKC can't still go back to the finals.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like that doesn't it doesn't do that. And it doesn't make me feel like they got Denver's number either. Like I still feel
yeah.
strongly. I feel stronger about OKC and Denver still than I feel about the Clippers.
I don't think this team. Again, it's all about durability. I don't think this team is better than Minnesota. I don't think this team. Hell is if when healthy better than Dallas. I
Right.
think one of their biggest like drop offs was letting Norman Powell walk.
It will.
You don't let somebody efficient like that walk.
I think that the problem that people are always going to have, and what always is going to suck everybody in to believing in this type of team is that, oh man, look at these names, look at all these names, oh man, fam, we got, oh my god, it's like when you go to the cereal aisle, bro, you look at all the cereals and but they all do the same thing if you really boil it down to it. You can have Frosted Flakes, Rice Krispies, and Fruit Loops, or you can have Flakes with Frost, or you can have Chris Rice. It's all gonna. What role are you? What role are these guys going to play? Is going to
Hmm.
be the most. And if everybody's not bought into a role, I believe CP3. Obviously, CP3 at this point is bought in. I think he's going to be bought into what his role is in the upper stages of his career. He's in year 20. He's like year 21 now in his career.
Hmm.
So I think he's
Hmm.
gonna. I think he knows what exactly his role is at this stage of his career. Does Bradley Beal know? Is Bradley Beal bought in to be able to play that role? I do think that a second unit with Bradley Beal and Chris Paul does it gives me some type of hope.
Hmm.
If you can mix in the right amount of youth with guys that are just gonna they're just gonna go after it, balls to the wall, play hard, play aggressive, give you effort on every night. Then if you can mix the right amount of guys with that mentality and the right amount of guys with that veteran presence, then it can work. I think sometimes you can have a little too much of a veteran presence, and that may be what we're looking at here. Whereas, who is going to be the vet to take the back seat? And obviously, Bradley Beal is the guy we're all looking at to say, you, brother, got to sacrifice. Brook Lopez, I mean, and then Brook Lopez will probably be coming off the bench as well. Because I imagine you're going to run a lineup with Zubac and John Collins. That would be my ideal lineup with those two out there on the floor. You know what I'm saying? With scoring and athleticism out there. Like I said, they got a chance to do something. But they're not my favorites though. Definitely not my favorites. But they are. They will be a playoff team. We will see when come playoff time. I may get as bullish on them as I was this past season when I thought they could get past the damn Denver Nuggets. But whatever. Cool.
Hey, I want to make one shout out because we don't ever get to do this often. I want to make one shout out to them Charlotte Hornets, them boys, them summer league champs. Y'all boys who making fun of us. Y'all making fun of us when we drafted McNeely and Khan talking about something. What them boys said, we look like a Magic School Book episode or something, bro. Hey, listen, but we got one, bro. We got one, bro. Shout out, bro. Khan Knuffle, bro. Hey, I ain't a Duke fan, but you in Charlotte now, bro. So what's up, man? We did.
They said them boys. Y'all boys look like a damn Disney, a Disney original movie basketball.
Disney original with a talking cat, bro. Hey, take that and add some vengeance, man.
But did I not tell you though? Did I not tell you at the end of the season? I was like, hey, dog, call me crazy, but I think y'all can do something. I think y'all got something. Khan showed his ass and summer league, and we do got to temper expectations a bit. But when I start talking about the roster y'all have put together, right? We start talking about the Spencer Dinwiddies. We talk about the Colin Sextons. We talk about re-signing Trey Mann. We talk about a team that last year was the league worst in bench scoring. I think in my mind, thinking overnight, you may have changed that. Con Knuffle. Okay, Liam. I don't know how much we'll see of Liam McNeely in year one. I don't believe he's ever.
He might be a G League coming like developing guy.
He may be a swarm. He may be a swarm this year. I don't think Buddy ready for the big leagues yet. But now
going to green. He going to Greenboro, bro.
Hey, get ready to learn swarm, big dog. Hey, but Con Knuffle though, bro, alongside of what you already have, hey, I like it. I wish I do still. I'm like, bro, there has to be another big man that's out there.
Yeah.
That I would, if you got him, I would feel great, right? But I do like what y'all have going on right now. I think the problems that you had last year, where you couldn't keep up with teams once that second unit came in, I think if Lord willing, barring any injuries, goodness gracious, y'all boys can be in a playoff conversation legitimately.
Oh, yeah.
And I am geek for it. As a person that lives,
y'all are literally.
I'm ready.
Y'all are literally OKC of the East without a big man, and I think the only thing that's stopping them, honestly, the mentality of LaMelo Ball. You have to come into it now with the mentality of like, I'm a vet now. You ain't a kid. You ain't no young bull no more, bro. You got to come in as a vet. You got to come in with a winning mentality. And then, like, I know you like to play, you like to hoop, you like to showboat, bro. Like, that's cool, bro. You can do that. But you got to come in with a mentality of like, I got a squad right now. You got Trey Mann out here looking like A. Iverson reincarnated and jump, but he out here getting buckets and you ain't really doing that. So, like, it's a mentality thing, man. You got to come out here and have that mentality, bro.
All right, man. So as we get ready to wrap this thing on up, man, Damian Lillard has decided to go back to Portland. Signs back with the Trailblazers on a 3-year deal. Obviously, he'll miss this year. But I mean, I have my thoughts on it, and I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm glad he did it. I'm glad he went back to Portland. I think that, I mean, look, end it. Go where you appreciate it, not tolerate it. The whole idea of ring chasing, it wasn't going to change anything for Damian Lillard's career unless he reels off 2 or 3 of these things. Like, nobody's changing where they rank Damian Lillard all time. I think based off of a ring. I think once the Miami deal fell through and he couldn't get there, I thought it was all over. I know we had our thoughts on the whole Giannis and Dame matchup. We didn't think it worked. We didn't. I mean, and obviously we saw it. We saw it didn't work. But I'm absolutely glad he made the move to go back home, man. I mean, look, bro, you get to go back and recover, spend your final years out there, help a young team try to get to that next stage, and mentor guys on your way out. I think it's a commendable thing, and I think I can appreciate a guy not bouncing around wearing 10 different jerseys in hopes of chasing this fleeting thing that won't change the perspective of how people feel about you anyway. Once it's all said and done, so I appreciate him going back home.
I think it's good. I think it's good for him. I think mental clarity. I think at this point he's in a situation now where if he couldn't win a ring with Giannis, then it's just more of just a love for the game. And I think he loves for the game. I think he has love for that city. It's closer to home for him. It's such a surreal moment. Um, and I think in the avenue of the league, man, like just that whole super team chasing thing just ain't working no more. You see what OKC's done. You seen what Denver has done. You seen what Indiana has done. Despite the loss, like Boston, like it's just, like you said, you go where you appreciate it. And yeah, Portland has been it's a hard destination to find talent, but you just go where you love and go where you need to be. And it's such a full circle moment for him, man. It also just feels like he just went on vacation because he's only been in Milwaukee for like what, year and a half. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy, man. But shout out Dame, man. Shout out Portland, bro. And not only that, they getting a WNBA team, so that also can add a lot, to his being there and what he can do to help dad and help bring a lot of stuff to that franchise. You see what Steph is doing, Golden State with the Valerie. You know what I'm saying? He's showing up and supporting for those games and stuff like that. LeBron will be at some Sparks games too. So I mean, man, it's such love for the city of Portland, man. So shout out to Dane, shout out to Portland. Big ups for him, man. Get well soon too, my boy. Get well soon.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as always, CJ McCollum, you're a horrible person for what you did to the NBA CBA. I want it to be reiterated every chance I get.
Wait. What he do? Because I don't know what he did. Just sum it up. We
Okay.
can,
So,
unless you want to end
all
it
right.
and we can talk about it. But like,
All right. So to sum it up, how the new CBA is set up, the TV money is going up. The money available to the players is going down. How does one construct a deal and sign off on a deal and agree to a deal that gets players less money while the money for the league is going through the roof? That man,
mm.
that man is a terrorist, is what he is. Damn it! Because how do you
Was he?
how do you do this? How do you pull that
Who's the
off?
new? Who's the new president? Is he the new president?
Well, he was the new president. I think there's a new president now, but at the time that CBA was being negotiated, he was the president. And by all accounts, brother, if that's what was on the table, damn it, you go into a lockout. You miss games, you miss games before you ever give money back to them owners, bro. What is wrong?
Mm-hmm.
We should have missed half the damn season. We had no problem doing it in 2011. We should have did that shit again. You never and again, I had to say this when LeBron opted into his deal for $52 million, and I'll say it again. You never give back money to billionaires under no circumstance. You take the money and you figure it out, brother. You know what I'm saying? How did you? Oh my goodness, bro. Yeah. So that's
Shout out Fred Van Fleet, bro. He about to get them boys right for real.
Yeah, shout out Fred, bro. I trust him, bro. Get the money back, bro. Next CBA, y'all gotta lock out for it. Man, don't even worry about it, bro. We gonna miss half the season. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Cause you think there is no way you can let this current CBA be the framework for the league moving forward. But it's neither here nor there. This has been John Dropper Sports. I'm your host, Shanti Stewart. This is my co-host, D'Angelo Stevenson. Football is on the way, y'all boys. We right here. We done made it, bruh. Look at us. Who would have thought, bruh? Shit, not me. Yeah.
I'll feed him, boy.
Yeah. We in it. We in it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But with that being said, we're John Dropper Sports, and we out.
Peace.